Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss making decisions, my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I drop it, connected to block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry Street Podcast. Welcome to the house of and shout out to the members.
Reeds. What's good? Good morning, everybody. I want to give everybody a big salute and shout out. Hope everybody out there is being safe during the hurricane. You know what I'm saying? Taking care of yourselves and your families and all that. Night before, you know, I was trying to get braced on my side. I ordered Grubhub. It took like 2 hours to get here, but I probably ordered like $200 worth of Grubhub. Why? I have a very, very full pantry, a very, very full fridge, a very, very full freezer. I just refuse to cook. I don't cook that much. You know what I'm saying? I do order out and eat out a lot. I know a lot of people would say that's a waste of money. It's a time thing. It's a convenience thing. It just is what it is. But man, I got on Grubhub. They took forever. And I ordered like 10 different things, you know what I'm saying? Prepping for, you know, all the BS and all that. Power went out for like 5 minutes. Wi-Fi went out for like 4 hours, you know, like a couple hours after yesterday's stream, actually. So we was able to get the stream off and then the internet went out. But it seems like most people is back at it now. I see my man 40 Cal 40 in the building. What's good, G's? I'll probably see you in a couple. Shout out to my guy 40 in the building. Shout out to all the members pulling up. I see y'all. Shout out to the members and shout out to everybody coming into the chat. Before I get into this wild ass article, these new allegations, this new lawsuit, I'm gonna pull it up on the screen and we're gonna read it together. I do want to say something for my video game heads, man. I gotta show the proper amount of respect because I kind of shortchanged the other day when I was talking about some of these new, you know, figures on my background. I'm paying homage. Like I said, we got Nemesis up here, Resident Evil 3, got my favorite MK character ever. We got Scorpion, we got a bunch of Street Fighter up top. We got a Big Daddy up top from BioShock. I got Mario behind me. I had to go all the way back and make sure I pay homage to something early, like a Mario. I got Cloud from Final Fantasy VII over there in the background. Greatest RPG of all time. I got a Killer Instinct on the way. Might be my favorite fighter of all time. Obviously, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, you know, but Killer Instinct I always put in my top 3. And there's another one I got to get. I got to get Metal Gear. I got to get something for Metal Gear up here. All right. I don't know if y'all are like me, but when you talk about like your Sons of Liberty or your Snake Eater, these are absolute classics. I'm talking about I spent hours and hours and hours, probably fucked up a bunch of my grades, messing around. I was a gamer for real. And I still am a gamer at heart, hence my background. I just don't have time to play video games like I used to. But I keep buying video games. I got like 100 brand new video games still in the wrapper in my video game room. And I keep telling myself, you know, when I get into like my later half of retirement or something like that, like partial retirement, you know, that's a long time from now. But when I really, really slow down, I'm turning back on my video game side. Okay. I got Big AK in the building. He's a year in for the members. Too dope. Shout out to everybody that's been here since day one as the members, along with all of our new members as well. Before this weekend is over, I will get some members only content up. I want y'all to drop me a comment on the video, not here in the chat because I'm gonna miss it, but on the video when this live is done, drop me a comment. I'm thinking about doing Family Matters Part 2. I could also discuss bootlegs and battle rap. You know what? I'll leave it at those two. All right. Drop in the comments which one you want me to do as members only exclusive. And I got y'all before the weekend is over. Okay. All right. Let's get into the topic title. Diddy and Yung Miami face off. Oh, face off. Face off and new lawsuit drama. That's a typo. Let me get that face off out of there and just put face. New lawsuit drama, which is scary when I read it. And we're going to read it together. They say behind every powerful man is a powerful woman, right? And I'm not trying to say that Miss Miami. Yung Miami is some powerful person, nothing like that. But the point that I'm making there is for all the allegations and all the smoke and fire, right, around Diddy, you got to assume that the people that's very, very close to him, they are aware or at least know something about his behavior. I think most of us are at a point where we're not trying to convict him. We're not trying to say guilty on no charges, go ahead and sit down for life. I don't think that we're all there yet, but I'm pretty sure we all agree that he's a weird guy. He's definitely done some weird stuff that probably deserves punishment. Right? He's gonna face his day. He already is. He's sitting down right now. He didn't get bail, so he's already paying for the stuff that he's doing. And I don't think I'm gonna do a separate live until more details come out about the new what looks like a class action lawsuit. 50 new victims came up and through the same law firm put accusations on Diddy. You didn't hear that incorrectly. 50. 50 people. How do you get 50 people together to do like a lawsuit or something like that? Sounds like a class action lawsuit in the first place. You know what I think? It's like a car commercial or something like that. You ever be driving in the car, you hear these commercials or insurance company, uh, call us if this happened to you. And then they're looking to capitalize on a particular situation that happened recently or medication, right? If you took this medication over the last 2 years, it had a recall. A lot of people got hurt behind it. Some people lost their lives behind it. Go ahead and call this number, right? It represents like a given situation. And then it's like a damn telethon that's coming in, right? 50 people, this one law firm or lawyer is representing as a new case suit towards Diddy. This man is going to end up filing bankruptcy. You're not keeping up with all of this stuff. I don't know how many lawsuits and civil suits he has on him at this point. It's crazy. It's crazy. And this is why we say it's just too much. You're guilty of some of this. You're guilty of some of this, whether we're talking about the arson and blowing up people's cars. We saw the video. That's going to remain a big thing that we saw you beating the crap out of Cassie in that hotel. So we know what your behavior is like. We know what's up with you. We know what you're possible, what you're capable of. We had all these other people come out over the years. You got a million viral little TikTok videos coming out about your weirdness and the things that you have done over like the last 10, 15, 20 years. So you're guilty of some of this shit, did he? But this one right here, this is where we start to talk about the people around him. Now, we did the enablers and his right-hand woman the other day. We did a stream about her, right? We broke that down on why she's possibly in a lot of trouble. But I think a lot of people are waiting for the other celebrities and the other names. They want to hear more about Usher. They want Justin Bieber to speak up. What's up with Jay-Z? Do you know any of this? I think people are waiting for the name people, the other power figures, to be implicated. And I'm not up here wishing on nobody's downfall. It's just impossible to be around this much drama, and not know nothing and not get called to court or subpoenaed or not get named in the indictment sooner or later. And here you go, Yung Miami. And I think it's real sensitive for her. Reason being is because we see that it's really civil suits that launched this whole federal indictment for Diddy. Okay. He's the only one named in the indictment thus far. But, everything that's detailed in the indictment is around the Cassie civil suit and then some. The arson, right? What is that? Is that the Kid Cudi? Kid Cudi's not named in there, but everybody can put one and one together, right? So this is where the Yung Miami stuff comes into play, where you have a civil suit naming another celebrity, somebody close to him, something that a lot of people know. She has a fan base. She got reality shows coming, did music and all that type of stuff. And here you go. And do the feds pick this up? Possibly. It's a free fall and it's not going to slow down anytime soon. Let's get into the details of this. All right. Let's not just talk about the backdrop on why this is scary for Diddy as well as Yung Miami, but let's see the details of why. And I think this news just broke yesterday. This was US Today published 2:28 p.m. yesterday afternoon on the 27th. Yes, yesterday. Well, many of us having power outages and internet outages and all that. This news dropped. All right, let's read this. Sean Diddy Combs impregnated victim. Yung Miami encouraged abortion. Lawsuit alleges. Crazy title, crazy lawsuit, crazy allegations. I know it's going to pull on the strings of some of the women. Like, wait, a woman encouraging another woman to get a abortion behind some wilding out, freak off type of behavior where somebody possibly was taken advantage of or allegedly drugged. Yeah, the ladies ain't gonna like this one, but sorry is true. Let's get into this. And when I say sorry is true, I don't mean that the allegations are true. I mean that we're here because these accusations are real. All right. I got to be careful up here. This is all alleged, right? Or we're going off of a civil suit. Sean Diddy Combs has been accused of impregnating and drugging an unnamed alleged victim in a lawsuit. Now, who is this person? I don't want to do all the speculation. I'm pretty sure you're going to find out a lot on the internet. Oh, wait, this person, this Jane Doe over here, blah, blah, blah. In the lawsuit, could it be this person? We heard this in the past. This civil suit, could it be that person? I ain't going to do that. When somebody comes out and we put a face and a name to it, we'll double back with new details, and then we'll try to see if there's any prior talk, prior details that make us say, oh, wait a minute, when this person spoke out earlier, we're going to put this detail with that detail. I agree with this. I disagree with this. I think this is real. I think this is BS. We'll save some of that for later, right? But right now, unnamed person. And that within itself could be tactical, legal tactics. It is what it is. As the embattled media mogul's legal challenges continue to mount, a lawsuit filed Friday in New York State Supreme Court by Jane Doe includes allegations of sexual assault and abuse that took place over a four-year span from the fall of 2020 until present year. Stop there for a second. That I'm going to be a little annoyed about during this reading. I'm sorry, people. I have sympathy in me towards victims, but y'all have heard me on this channel before. I don't do well with people that sit there in the fire consistently, and as well as people that get away and come back to it. I struggle with that. I know that you got the situations where you can say my livelihood was at stake, you know, people, and I don't want to get sexist in this situation. Or maybe I will stereotype. Fuck it. The day I hear about a man, women, y'all get the society pass for this. Rant mode. Y'all get the pass for this. The woman that gets her eye blackened, runs out, calls her homegirl, and then goes back a week later. Her friends is on the phone talking about, you still with this nigga? Yeah, you know that's my baby, right? Women get a pass for this. Double standards in society. Men, let me hear about some guy. Matter of fact, let's use a real world joint. We just saw an article from Black China, right? Once again, alleged. There's a picture of her ex-boyfriend's face battered and bruised, and he's suing his ex-girlfriend, Black China, with allegations that she beat the crap out of him while he was asleep, right? I don't mean to laugh at that. I'm still staying on a different point. I'm just using what's really going on around us right now. Now imagine he sues her, or even before he sues her, he goes away, he looks at his face, battered, bruised, he's beat up, he's really physically hurt, maybe went to the hospital, maybe some stitches or something like that. And then a month later, he's back with her. What type of, and then let me find out it's because your corny ass or your lame ass can't support yourself as a man. I ain't going. I just don't got that in me to sympathize with that as a man. Because as a man, I'm taught, I'm bred, I'm motivated, I'm influenced from a child until a grown-ass adult to be self-sufficient, to be self-providing, to be the protector, to be the provider. Now, I've grown towards falling in love with independent women, strong women that could bring something to the table and do for themselves. I'm not the sugar daddy type of guy, right? Ever. But it's still in my nature. It's still in my character. I was still brought up like this. As a man, I wish I would be dependent on some woman. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to hear about no man like you went back to Black China because she's the cash cow. She's the breadwinner. I don't even want you to win your lawsuit now. I don't want you to win your civil suit, nothing. I don't want you to get nothing. I don't want her to get in trouble for it because you's a lame, you's a clown for being a grown-ass man that can't take care of yourself, and you got some woman beating on you to the point where you filing civil suits because what? She's the breadwinner? The fuck out of here. I ain't going for it. Now, that's why I introed that little rant by saying it's a double standard. So, ladies of the channel, give me a little bit of room here. If I could take that position with men, and we in this world of equality, We're in this world where we're supposed to be saying equal rights and equal opportunity, especially today's age. If I could feel like that towards a man, why can't I at least 60% feel like that towards a woman? I just don't do well with accepting a 4-year span of some shit that you saying was a problem. Where you was I'm not talking about ups and downs in a relationship. Some people have been with their spouse for 20 years, makeups to breakups, divorces, back all that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about where we get to the point where people's talk about being drugged, R-worded, impregnated, abused, harassed, chased down, scared and feared for their life, all that type of stuff. 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 10 years. That's why I said the lawyer is going to kill Cassie. And he's going to target angles where he says they both were consenting adults going through this. They both were consenting adults that just had a toxic relationship. We saw the video. He hit her, but she hit him too. It's just not on camera. I'm not taking that position, people. I'm just saying that's what the lawyer is going to do. And there's an angle to play on this type of stuff because you want to see how much we talk about enablers. We say enablers. The person around Diddy that set up the lighting, the person that went to Costco came out and said that ain't us, by the way. But the person that went to Whole whatever and copped all the baby oil, the enablers, the person that booked the flights and the hotels, the enablers, the right hand woman that set up the freak off locations and all that, the enablers. You know who's an enabler too? The person that gets punched in the face, gets in the car, leaves, goes back to their crib. The lawyer said tactically for a reason, Cassie had her own family and her own home, her own house. Goes back to their house, right? Picks up a phone call from Diddy or alleged in this article here, Yung Miami. Hey, come back. Hey, this, whatever. And 2 years later, your ass is back on a flight, hanging with him, going through the same shit, getting drugged, getting R-word and all that type of stuff again. You are also an enabler then. Are you a victim? Do I sympathize? Yes. But will I sympathize to the utmost? We got to be real, people. Ladies, y'all shouldn't want this neither. Ladies of the channel, y'all should not get mad at me because y'all go through it with some of y'all homegirls. And y'all be getting mad at y'all homegirls too, right? Don't be trying to let the people slide that want to sit there in the fire and then complain when they get burned. That's all I'm saying. Pardon the rant. Damn, we still got a lot of this article to go through. Sorry, it's true. All right. It also states the alleged abuse took place until July this year. This is from 2020 to July this year. So that's after the cribs was raided and all of that. Anyway, 4 months after Homeland Security investigations agents raided Combs' Los Angeles and Miami homes in March, and 2 months before his arrest on charges of racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Okay. The lawsuit includes startling allegations, including claims that Combs forced the unnamed woman to have intercourse without her consent, drugging her, impregnating her. The lawsuit alleges that Combs and his staff recorded the sexual encounters without consent and caused her to be afraid for her safety, as well as anxiety and depression. The anxiety, depression, all that, I guess that comes with elongated abuse, but there's no doubt in my mind that whatever lawyer she's working with is typing very tactically. I'm not trying to water it down, people. All right. Don't take that the wrong way. The lawsuit also alleges that Combs continued to contact the alleged victim in order to control her actions and autonomy. That I can see, especially if Combs knew he's pulling some BS. You're gonna keep reaching out and trying to make sure that everything's cool. In a statement provided to USA Today on Friday, the Jane Doe's attorney from New York-based law firm called out Combs and said, "No one is above the law." Yeah, well, Diddy's learning that right now. Powerful figures in the entertainment industry have long exploited aspiring artists and fans. Recent high-profile lawsuits aim to hold the celebrities accountable, potentially transforming industry practices and providing justice for victims. Attorney, whatever that name is, said the statement, "Fame and wealth do not protect Sean Diddy Combs from serious allegations and sex trafficking abuse." Let's sit there for a second now. Okay. I agree. It does seem like Diddy believes or moves or acts in many, many times, i.e., Kid Cudi's car allegedly, or the video of Cassie, all the stuff we've seen over the years, it does appear that the man has grown to feel that he's above the law. That's his movements, that's his arrogance, that's his actions, that's the stuff that we see, that's the allegations. I guess powerful people in time that get away from stuff. He done went through the New York club shooting, got off of that. He didn't control people's careers. He didn't kill people's careers, started people's careers. He pushes a button, something goes away, somebody gets hurt, somebody gets slapped, somebody gets flown out. It's just all these. Diddy has been powerful, been successful, and been wealthy for a very, very, very long time, right? And with that comes a level of confidence. Confidence then turns into arrogance. Arrogance can turn into just being totally irrational. Like, yeah, I could just shoot this person right here on. Who did that? Was it Sin City part one or part two? I think it's part two. Remember when the dude won all the money at the gambling game? It was like the guy that ran the city, right? Right. For my Sin City movie fans. You see, I reference movies and music a lot because I keep reminding y'all art depicts life. It's not reverse. It's not like music happens and then life happens. It's the other way around. Life happens and then music and art and entertainment and movies copy it. Okay. Or tell the actual true tale in the form of like fiction or entertainment. But anyway, in that scene, this guy's like runs the town, or I forget if he was a mayor. I think he was a politician or something, right? And he's in front of a bunch of powerful people around the gambling table. And here comes this cocky young guy. He comes in there and he's gambling. And while he's gambling, he's talking heavy and he embarrasses the powerful guy in front of all these other power players and powerful people. There's a cop in the room too. So mind you, I don't even know if the gambling is legal, but there's a cop there, right? The arrogant guy that comes in, cleans the table, wins all the chips, takes all the chips, puts it in a little bag, whatever. Him and some shorty walk to the door, right? The vibe is like tense now because you just embarrassing. You just took a bunch of bread from a powerful guy that probably be acting out and pushing a button on people, right? Cop walks up to the guy as he's leaving and says, "Yo, man, get up out of here quick. I can't protect you." And what does he say back to the cop? He says, "Then why are you a cop then?" Right? Because certain people really are above the law in certain situations. You got bought off cops, you got corruption, you got influence. We just did that yesterday. You got all this type of stuff. Later on, the guy catches up to him. They throw him in the car, knock him around a little bit, punch him in his face and all that, throw him out the car. He walks up on him, he shoots him in the knee and tells him basically, every time it rains and all that, I want you to think about me. He's executing and exhibiting power. He's exhibiting behavior of I'm above the law. I love Sin City. Go watch that part one and part two. If you haven't seen it, y'all, great scene, a great parallel to the points that we're making here. So I absolutely do agree that Diddy over the years has developed some of that. I'm above the law. I'm above the law. I can do X, Y, Z and just get away with it. But when we read this last piece about aspiring artists and fans, recent high-profile lawsuits aim to hold these celebrities accountable, potentially transforming industry practices. Potentially transforming industry practices and providing justice for victims. This is where I go, sorry, it's true. Rant mode once again, y'all. I get annoyed at people's low level of protecting themselves, taking care of themselves, following the same shit that is always showed a million other people. Yeah, you can get hurt like that. You can get burnt like that. Small example is like, let's say the Locks. They went crazy for a Diddy Let Me Go campaign, right? So I would think that anybody that signs with Diddy after that, after hearing all the things we've heard about his business and his music practices, you would think that they would take heed to it a little bit, right? Not saying don't do business with Diddy. Diddy calls you, Diddy DMs you, and you're an aspiring artist, you're going to answer. You're going to fly out. You're going to see what it's about. I understand it. But you should be learning from other. You don't just learn from your own experiences. You learn from other people's mistakes and experiences as well. If I see all these people coming out and having issues with Diddy's business, if I engage with his business practices, don't you think I'm going to have a little bit more reservation, a little bit more microscope towards this contract and what I might be about to sign? No, this is where I gotta look at the individuals a little bit more. So when we talk about stuff like this, their aim is to change industry practices. You know what I say? I say, people, how long are you gonna watch the industry, not just Diddy, fuck people over left and right, and then act like the damsel in distress, talking about, oh no, this is all just my livelihood. I have to earn a living, and this is why I was really there. I felt forced and all of that. All this shit, these examples, this is not stuff that's swept under the rug. How often in the hip hop industry alone do we see this stuff jumping into news headlines and going viral, and people talking about people going through drama and bad record deals and problems and abusive people to be around? And how long are you going to do it? How much do you have to see to the point where I gotta say you just want to ignore it because you want that opportunity? You want to stand next to Diddy too, right? If Diddy gets off and he throws a white party on a yacht, how many women are still going to be there? Probably a bunch of people that could end up there in 2027, let's say, if he gets off, right? Get drugged, and then what? File the same civil suit? The fuck? That's really what it be. It's like, I sympathize. But how much sympathy do you want from me when I say, like, I gotta call bullshit a little bit here? You wanted to be there. They said this shit was from 2020 through July. Does it make it right? Does it make what Diddy did right? I don't need anybody that is like low comprehension on our podcast, not understanding the true point that I'm making. I'm not justifying or sticking up for Diddy. That disclaimer is for the mental midgets of this fucking channel. But come on. We're not letting some of these people off the hook for them enabling the situation as well, and for wanting to sit there, and for also going through shit and coming back. Let him get off. Let him get off. We're going to do a stream dedicated just to his parties, just to pick up and see who's there and who's not. You want to be there. I'm still going to have somebody take that the wrong way. Jane Doe first met Diddy in fall 2020 overseas after he invited her on a trip, the lawsuit alleges. After visiting him in spring 2022 in Miami, the lawsuit says she woke up after her feet were purple and bruised with bite marks on her heel, stating she was unaware of how she got the injuries. My reaction there is ladies, take better care of yourself. That's another thing that is just so well known at this point, that you'd be a fool to not take better care of yourself. What do I mean by that? I mean, ladies, you end up around these freak offs, or these lavish or these wild parties with a bunch of people. Pour your own drinks. Something simple like that. Pour your own drinks. If you're into drugs, bring your own drugs. What do you want me to tell you? Right? We got to take better care of ourselves. Me, when I visit certain countries, right? The bartenders, and I done already been through shit out the country, right? Let me be out the country after my experiences and also learning the world. You know how much I watch the bartenders pour my damn drinks? Even I could go to the city right now and go to the club. The bartender can't bring no bottles to our section that's already opened. I don't play that. I don't give a shit about the sparkles and all that type of shit. Keep that. But when you bring our drinks out, open it in front of us. Little things like that. Just we gotta. It could happen to anybody. Let me try to be humble there, because shit could happen to me. But at the same time, people, we gotta take better care of ourselves. Like, this is your first time hanging out with this man, and you got an allegation in your civil suit that you woke up and you don't even know why your foot was bitten up. That's scary. Was it a dog? Was it Diddy? Was it the person that was holding the camera allegedly? Like, what is this? Can Diddy's lawyers turn around and say, "Oh no, she fell down the stairs"? Like, I mean, I don't know. Is there a doctor's report behind it? Are you sure it's bite? It's just all this stuff of this isn't the first stuff around Diddy. Like we hear this a lot. I woke up, I don't know what happened. Isn't that an allegation in DJ Academic's joint? The girl is saying allegedly that she woke up and she don't know what happened. And then DJ Academics went and gave the police all the footage, all the camera footage, and said, this is what happened. This is what her allegedly when she's with him, and then the train continues with him and this and that, and I'm over here possibly sleeping, allegedly, right? Isn't that what happened with ladies? Like I'm not trying to say that it can't happen to the best of them, but if you're around these powerful people and these men, you might be groupied out. You might be an aspiring artist. You might be in love overnight. You might just be excited because, oh my God, this is Diddy that just sent me this limo and this car and this flight. You might be, but how do you move in a way where you don't wake up with bite marks on your feet? You're not to blame for going through bullshit that is unjustifiable and at times illegal. But there's ways to avoid this stuff. It's like you teach a kid to look both ways when they cross the street. They have to do this type of stuff. It's not just a celebrity or a Diddy party. I just gave an example about me. Hey, I could go to a birthday. I could go out tonight. If you bring me a bottle that's opened, I'm sending it back. Tonight, I would do that. You see what I'm saying, people? Like, I knew this article was going to put me on rants. I knew it. The lawsuit also states that the Jane Doe was compelled to ingest an unknown substance before she learned that it was or contained the drug ketamine and or other substances which caused her to black out and lose consciousness intermittently. These words was compelled to ingest an unknown substance. So did you know that there was a substance there? Or are you trying to say I was just compelled to have a drink and I didn't know that? I don't know. I don't want to overdo it on that, the way that that's worded right there. But people's getting drugged left and right, whether it's true or not. But there's enough of this that we keep hearing about where it's like, once again, pour your own drinks, be on the way, be on a watch out in these environments, whatnot. People, alcohol is not just used for you to have a good time with. It's obviously used as a weapon. It's obviously weaponized, right? Even if there's no drugs in it. You know what I'm saying? Like how many of these young guys in their teens and early 20s, whatever, you know, and even a grown ass men and adult women do this shit too. This shit is having to be like people want you to have alcohol to lighten up. Let your guard down a little bit. Let your hair down a little bit. Forget about what's going on. Forget about your past. Forget about your man. Forget about your girl. Have a drink. It don't even got to be laced. It don't even got to be drugged. Alcohol is used in different manners. Sometimes with bad intentions and sometimes with good intentions. You know what I'm saying? So being compelled to you got to be leery of what alcohol is even on its own. Because somebody could walk up to a lawyer and put a civil, it doesn't have to be laced. Somebody could just say, I was given one of the strongest 5,000 proof drinks ever, and just my body's reaction to it was blacking out. It don't gotta be drugged. It could just be a couple of the wrong joints that your body don't handle well. And everybody's different. It's very hard to prove, you know, that, oh, no, I didn't fall asleep because of that tall glass of hen. Everybody's body's different. Maybe that person passes out when they drink hen. Maybe that person drinks it like water. You know what I'm saying? We focus on getting drugged. Common sense is a step ahead of that. Somebody passes me a drink, period. I want to know who it is that passed me the drink. I want to trust the person that passed me the drink. I kind of want to know where the drink came from. It's not being over analytical. It's not being overprotective. It's not being paranoid. It's just being of the world and knowing what alcohol is. That's why you got to be a certain age to drink this shit. Is there such thing? I know. I'm just talking. I'm just in mode, Jizzle. I'm just in mode, homie. Oh man, I did not expect myself to have this many rants while reading this article. Okay. The lawsuit alleges that the City Girls rapper Young Miami, whose legal name is Carisha Brownlee, and is the apparent ex-girlfriend of Combs, harassed Jane Doe, repeatedly calling her and telling her to have an abortion. The Jane Doe later had a miscarriage and claimed she did not speak to Combs or members of his camp for 3 months. Why only 3 months? But anyway, let's go to the beginning of that. So that's where Young Miami is named. That's where she's brought in. I didn't know that she was an ex or not. I mean, it really doesn't matter. But that's where Young Miami is now brought into the civil suit. And once again, anything that touches a civil suit obviously should be very, very careful to moving into the federal indictment or the criminal charges, right? Because that's what happened to Diddy, right? So, right there, if I'm Young Miami, I'm lawyered up, if I'm not already, right? I'm lawyered up. I'm going over this. I'm seeing where I need to move properly. I'm getting legal advisory behind this civil suit. I'm not just getting this type of civil suit and saying, oh, somebody wants some bread. Worst case scenario, me and Diddy will have to pay some bread or something like that. Or maybe Diddy will pay. No, I'm thinking about me possibly being segued or being even moved into the criminal side of things, just like Diddy, right? If I'm Young Miami, that's what I do. I lawyer up immediately. Immediately. The harassment thing now. When we started the stream, what do we say? Behind every strong man is a strong woman or enabler. Or when it comes to Diddy, people that allegedly are knowing or part of the process, aware of the process. If Diddy is acting out like this over all these years, we got all these people making these claims against him. If he's acting out like this, then you want to assume that, yeah, people close to him picked up on some of this, right? You can't be doing all these freak offs and drugging people and sex trafficking, alleged, all this type of stuff, and your girlfriend didn't pick up on none of it. If she didn't, then she's a fucking idiot. She's a dim-witted, and sometimes men like to be around stupid women. I can't stand stupid women. But some men like to be around stupid women. Makes them feel stronger, makes them feel like they get away with stupid. I could walk in the house and say 1 + 1 is 4. She's gonna say, okay. Fucking idiot. Right? I don't look at Young Miami like that. I don't look at, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that she's the sharpest, super NASA thinking knife in a box, but she ain't that stupid. No. So that's why I begin to form opinions of she knows about some of this stuff. She's aware of some of this stuff. And that would then align to the alleged allegations. You know, I got my little person that isn't knows some of this stuff, and you make the call to this girl, harass her, tell her, yo, get her aboard, all that type of stuff. All these alleged accusations. It's crazy. It's no different than what the lawyer is already targeting Cassie for, right? With the whole consensual adults, right? You wanted to fuck on this guy that was flown in. You wanted to have the fivesome. You knew I was standing over in the corner recording while the handler over here had the second camera angle and this person over here is masturbating. And you know all that. As a matter of fact, we laughed about it over breakfast in the morning. You know what I'm saying? That's where I look at Young Miami and I'd be like, because I gotta play stupid and naive to just assume that if I believe that Diddy is doing a lot of this shit, and maybe not all of it, but a lot of it, then his girlfriend knows about some of it, just like Cassie's allegations from the lawyer. It's just now Young Miami. Logic 101, people. Logic. So I take that from this piece of the civil suit. But, you know, I didn't know that you could be harassed into a miscarriage. A lot of guys would be trying to get themselves off the hook in that case, if that was the case. And I say that with not the word sympathy ain't the word. I say that with compassion. You know what I'm saying? I say that with compassion because, like this article, sorry, it's true if I'm being too blunt for you folks, but this is a situation, possibly, allegedly, where a man is hearing about a woman's pregnancy and he disagrees with it. right? So the harassment then comes from him and her, or communication. Are you communicating back? It's not easy to harass somebody that cuts off forms of communication and contact, right? You can't harass me. Women, you can't harass me. I'm warning y'all women right now. If you harass me, I'm gonna start with just doing regular shit. Like, I'm gonna block your ass. I'm gonna block you on social media. I'm gonna block your number on my phone or whatever, because you're harassing me. And I wouldn't even use that word to describe it. I would just be like, yo, why are you still here? Like, I don't talk to you. Like, that's it. I'm just gonna block everything. Right. In what scenario would I go to the police and put in a file what's it called? The order of protection, right? Would I ever file an order of protection? Yes, I would. Men, don't be scared to file an order of protection because you're a man. You want to know when it's smart to file an order of protection? If you feel like something can happen and put you in a situation where you may or may not defend yourself, or something can happen, right? And then you can get in trouble for it, especially as the stereotypical man in the equation. Oh, no, 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 no. I know this chick won't leave me the fuck alone. Oh, no, no, no. I know that she didn't key cars before. Oh, no, 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 no. I know that she won't stop blowing up my phone. Oh, no, no, no. I know that she went up to my new girlfriend's job and harassed her. Oh, I know all that stuff. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm not scared of her in that sense. You don't have. It's not about fear, people. You're still a man. It's about making sure that I'm not the one that ends up behind bars the moment something goes a little bit too left. Yeah, order protection. And I guess I say that type of stuff where it's just like, if I'm really in these situations, first of all, I'm getting away. It's not going to last 4 years. It's not going to go from May 2020 to July 2024. It's not going to happen that long, especially if in. I'm getting pissed. I'm getting pissed. The allegations in this article said in May 2020, when she went to Miami, that's when she woke up with the bite marks on her foot and she was all bruised and she was drugged. She believes in all that. So, back to me. I'm not gonna be there after this woman done bit my foot in 2020, or 4 years later. You know what I'm saying? And then if that does happen, if I did go through all of this and I realize, yo, this person is powerful, this person is crazy, deranged, they send other people at me. Let me play both perspectives on it. I'm following a order of protection, because this person pulls up and gets shot in the fucking center mass for me because I feel like I'm endangered, right? I have processed there. I have something showing that I had an issue already. I had an issue already. So that's what makes me ask about this Jane Doe. It's like, when you got your foot bit up or whatever, is there a doctor's report to that? Um, are there files and there's records of abuse and harassment? Just text messages or something like that? Is there order of protection from when Young Miami and Diddy was calling you, harassing you so heavy that it caused you to have a miscarriage? Like, these are things that I think people still want to see. And I know fellas could be a little bit more aligned with me, and I'm a man. So I sound like a man when I talk, obviously. But ladies, once again, you should be hearing me out, because you don't want bullshit women, weak women, damsels in distresses, groupies, or women that chase a bag or chase down powerful men. You shouldn't want them to represent you. And that's not the claim I'm making on this woman. I'm just picking certain things apart that I don't like, being honest. Doesn't mean that I don't believe that Diddy possibly did some shit to this girl, right? Hmm. All right, let's go back. Okay. Then in late 2022, so they met 2020, right? Yeah. Then in late 2022, as the lawsuit alleges, Combs began communicating with Jane Doe again and began compelling her to travel with and to him. He would harass her through text messages, calls, third parties, until she agreed, according to court filings. I don't like that. Y'all know I don't like that. You know I don't like that. We met in May 2020. In 2020, 2020 May, I also got abused and hurt and drugged, alleged. 2022, I allowed your text messages and communications to harass me so much that I agreed to come back to you again. And then Fast forward, we're saying that everything continued all the way through July 2024, which is when I decided it's civil suit time. I don't like this type of stuff. I don't like this process. I don't like the person. If all these allegations are true, I don't like a person that allows themselves to go through this. I don't allow somebody to be the primary enabler and then call foul on the play later on. I don't like that. I just don't, man. I'm just being so honest and so real. If Diddy did these things to this woman, fuck Diddy for doing these things to this woman. But shorty, somebody needs to tell you as well. Somebody needs to say to these people, you deserve a sit down too. You deserve to be called out as well. If somebody abuses you, drugs you, R's you, and all that, let them get all that they deserve. And we ain't sticking up for none of them. But you want to tell me you've been getting fucked over for 4 or 5 years, and you want me to just ignore that without scolding you? All right. For anybody that still feels I'm being insensitive right now, y'all know I do this occasionally. Let's drag in your daughter. Fathers of the channel, mothers of the channel too. Let's drag in your daughter. If your daughter, let's make it nice and bold for y'all. Okay? Your daughter met Diddy in 2020, flew out to see him, woke up feeling like something happened to them, was drugged, was abused, and all that type of stuff. Went back to him in 2022, continued all this type of stuff, had a miscarriage and all this stuff along the way, right? His girlfriend comes in and all this type of stuff, right? The first thing a father and a mother is going to want to do is they're going to want to take something to Diddy right away. When I say take something to him, y'all know what I'm saying. They're going to want him out of here. Touch our children. A parent is going to want you gone. That's the first reaction. At some point, you are pissed off at your child. At some point, you are sitting that child down and you are telling them the wrongs that they have done and why they should never move like that and could never move like that again. Tell me I'm lying. Because if you agree here, then you agree with everything I said in this whole live then. We not letting the BS off the hook. If you guilty, you guilty. We want you to get what you deserve. But the other culprits and the other enablers, we not just going to forget what you did too. Everybody needs to be called. Everybody. Yes. Shout out to Baby Oil back in the chat. It's becoming a homie. Any a member or she. Yo, Baby Oil, let us know. Are you a man or a woman? Baby Oil is back in the chat. AK says fact 100. See Iron Addict says facts. Reggie says shaking my head. Oh no, SMSM facts. Cosigns in here. Huh? Somebody let me know if I'm tripping. Because I wouldn't just say it to mine, I would say it to yours. Nieces, nephews, and godchildren, all type of shit. You're not a man or woman. I'm oiled, dog. That's the best answer ever. Enablers, condoners, justifiers, gaslighters is all I'm going to say. Groupies. I want everything in the pot to also make sure that we address that. Because tell me why, Rabbit. You're the first person that says, yeah, I'm tripping, unless you're talking to somebody else. I want to hear why. Because if we just ignore that piece of it, then we just continue to all fly dumb, and we're turning an eye. Then do we just want these women of the world that are aspiring artists or possibly just meet a guy that they think that they like? Do we want them to just fly like dimwits, or do we want to teach them like, yo, watch who's pouring your drink? Yo, don't just fly out like that, or yo, know who you going to visit, or yo, get like certain women, they'll fly out. They'll make sure they got the address where they're going to be, where they're going. They done told their parents and their friends where they're going to be at. There's all that type of stuff Take care of yourself. And if we don't talk like this, then 6 months from now, somebody else goes through it and they act like it's never happened to nobody before. They go through and they say, "Oh my God, all I know is I Diddy got off. So I thought he was cool. And I went to his yacht party. I was invited through a DM from some person that DM'd me that said that they work with Bad Boy. But I could see from their profile that they're tied to Diddy, and a first class flight ended up in my email. So I said, shit, this is legit. And I went. Just so happens that overnight I woke up with bite marks on my foot and I was drugged or something. I think last thing I remember is somebody laughing in my face and passing me a drink. And now I don't know what's going on. I took a pregnancy test and I'm pregnant. Oh my God. If we just act dumb to it and it just keeps happening, then we're going to act brand new for every new situation. Once again, if I just talk about business, okay, we saw that happen to the Locks, but I'm not going to read my contract now 5 years later. When I signed with Diddy, you was a fucking fool then. AK, I don't know if you was in the stream earlier. That's in the beginning of the civil suit. I know it sounds like I'm just freestyling some crazy shit. That's in the beginning of a civil suit. This new Jane Doe person that came out naming Diddy and Yung Miami says that she believes that she was drugged, woke up with her foot bruised and bite marks on her foot. I ain't just freestyle that one. Shout out to Reggie. Yep. And that's why too many people go for the BS. It is. It is a sad story. All right, rabbit hole. Let me see what you were saying earlier. Shout out to the members. It's creating sympathy for criminals. The sympathy is what guys like Diddy use to justify doing what they do. Enabling, gaslighting, being dumb. None of that is against the law. Our word and abuse is. Rabbit knowledge. I 100% agree with you, homie. The enabling, the being dumb, the being ditzy, the being groupied out, the being needy, the being in a vulnerable spot, even if it's financially, right? All of that is not against the law. I've said many, many times during this stream that if you're guilty, we want what's coming to you. We want what's coming to you if you did these things. But I can't get up here with y'all and continue to not speak on any other factors involved that can potentially save the next person that wants to go to his white party when he gets off free in 2027. I'm not saying that I think he's getting off. I'm just making up a hypothetical because that's going to happen. He was partying, he was fucking, he was doing much. He was still doing shit after the raids too this year. You think he wasn't still living it up with people still? So if nobody speaks like this, if nobody says these things, right, then even the dumb person that doesn't process the past and doesn't learn from other people's mistakes, maybe they can somewhere along the line be told by a loved one or a friend or a close one or an associate that, yo, you might want to double think that. Yo, you might want to pour your own drinks. Yo, you might want to not hang out with Diddy. Yo, you might not want to go to that part. Yo, somebody's got to talk like this because you're not to be dragged over the coals or treated like you're the criminal if you're the victim. I'm not saying that, but I'm speaking on the reality of, that's why I went all the way there. And I said, what if let's use our children, your daughter. We find out that it's your daughter in the same relationship from this suit right here from 2020 all the way to 2024 and continues to go back and forth through drama and fallings and flaws and problems and abuse and all that type of stuff with Diddy, right? When your daughter comes in the house and tells you this is what happened to her, the first thing you're going to want is Diddy dead. After that is done, what parent isn't going to scold their child? What parent isn't going to say, hey, little, whatever your name, I don't even want to make up a name. But now let me talk to you now. What the fuck was you doing backstage? What was you doing? Why you flew in? Let's figure out how we can make sure you have the knowledge and understanding of how this should never happen to you again. Right? That's my big picture here. I refuse to see these situations and not also have a message for the direct and indirect enablers. I can't do it. I can't turn the blind eye. I can't play naive. I wouldn't do it to if it was my child, and I won't come up on stream and do it with y'all. That's what I'm saying, rabbit hole knowledge. I mean, and that's why I gave a bunch of disclaimers earlier. I know that the way I talk about this type of topic, sometimes people will misinterpret it as if I'm not saying fuck Diddy. I know some people along the way will misinterpret my words and my tone and my delivery. But there's pieces in this that we can't ignore and that deserves to have a light on it as well, if for nothing else, for learning. Rabbit hole, you with me? I'm gonna wait for rabbit hole. That's one of my members, man. I take care of my people. You understand me, rabbit hole knowledge? I'm gonna wait for you in the chat. You understand me? You understand where I'm coming from? Where you at, knowledge? I see the chat moving. I'm looking for knowledge. Let me know. Let me know you with me. There we go. Okay. Rabbit hole knowledge says, if I'm the father of a girl listening to you rant, listening to you rant, LOL, I feel hurt that you feel that my daughter was asking for it. Oh, you're missing it. Knowledge should have known better, even if I feel you are right. No. Knowledge. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, yo, you asked for it or you deserved it, right? There's a difference between deserving something. Like, when do I deserve something? I put that on Twitter the other day. I have no sympathy for somebody that steals and gets robbed. You deserve it, okay? Asking for something is like me sticking out my chest on the internet and saying, yo, I'm the best boxer in the world. Come on. I want to see everybody. And then somebody comes and beats the shit out of me. I asked for it. Enabled. Those three things are not the same. Enabled is very, very different, okay? I'm not trying to say that I'm not still a victim, but if I don't move a certain way, I enabled myself to get hurt. You heard 15 minutes ago, I give like little small childish examples of like teaching a kid to look both ways before he crosses the street. You don't cross the street without looking both ways, saying, if the cars hit me, it's their fault and that's all I care about. You're not supposed to hit me because I'm a pedestrian crossing the street when the light is red and the crosswalk and all that type of stuff. No. You're taught to look both ways still. The parallel to that is look in that drink. Don't continue to fuck with somebody that's harassing you. Don't continue to fly in and fly out with somebody that's abused you or that bit you on the foot. Like, that's the enablement part that I just can't let slide. If it didn't say that they met in May 2020, and this went all the way to July 2024, I wouldn't have this energy. We can't not address that. We can't just let that just go under the table and not make that part of the learning and say, people, we also have to not enable ourselves to get hurt as much as possible. Does that mean I'm not a victim? No, I'm still a victim. Does that mean that I'm the wrong person in the situation? No, that's not what I'm saying. Does that mean that Diddy is any less of a fucking piece of shit? No, that's not what I'm saying. He's still a piece of shit. We do care about the root, the person up there, Diddy, that did it, that possibly gaslighted or manipulated or tricked somebody. We do. But any of my peoples go through that. I'm not going to have a conversation with them and tell them that, listen, next time you could do the exact same thing, but hopefully it's just with somebody that doesn't do what Diddy does to you. No, you don't say that, do you? That's not what we're going to say to the person. We're going to say, don't do this next time. Don't be around this next time. If somebody abuses you or curses you out or harasses you or bites you on the foot or drugs you in 2020, I don't want you around them in 2024. That's what is it not our responsibility to say that to our people or to our children? Let me know. Let me know. I want to know if you would say the same. I want to know if you disagree. I want to need to know if you can dig my thoughts. Or you could tell me if I'm 100% wrong. I need to know. I have no business being up here singing. I have no business. It's because this is how much I rock with my members. Shout out to Knowledge. I did. I had a note or two. All right. Chapo saving me. Thank you. I need people to stop that shit. They're gonna clip you and drag you on social media. Hey, stop. Knowledge. I got so much respect for my people in good, healthy debate. Where you at? All right. Knowledge says, no, I get you on saying that. You have orated a great larger picture, but not everyone will have access to great advice, critical thinking, support systems, and that's why the courts exist. 100% agree. That's why we're here. That's what we're doing right now. You my nigga. Knowledge, you my nigga. That's why we're here right now. That's why. Each one teach one. This message right here for the people that already would say this or win or whatever, it carry. I put some of this stuff on my Instagram when people say like, yo, AR, I heard your advice about business ownership and I went and filed some ownership paperwork. I put that on my gram the other day. It's the energy and the each one teach one, the messages spread. I know negativity spreads faster than anything, but this stuff like this. The more people that make sure that we put a light on every piece of the equation to make sure that we save ourselves, it helps. Hopefully. That's all. Knowledge, we on the same page, homie. We're on the same page. All right. Let me try to close out this article. During her, oh man, there's gonna be more that's gonna make us get more into rants and singing R&B songs and shit. during her visit to Combs, the lawsuit states he made the alleged victim perform a show for him, giving her alcohol and other substances until she ultimately passed out. So there's another situation where somebody made her pass out with Diddy. Then alleged. Then she would wake up with no recollection of what occurred and how she had injuries. Okay. The alleged behavior continued until July of this year. During an instance in July, the lawsuit states that Jane Doe tried drinking water, which tasted strange and made her feel unwell. Damn, niggas, you doing water too? Allegedly. The next morning, she felt ill and confused and could not remember what happened the night before and in the bedroom and had disarray. So this suit is saying this is like the third instance of her being allegedly drugged and waking up with no recollection. How many times did he gotta drug you? Allegedly. Diddy, you a piece of shit, but Jane Doe, come on, get up out of there, man. Like, we're not gonna get back into the same topic. Get up out of 3 times. Like, come on. The lawsuit alleges that during a 4-year span, Combs consistently pressured her into the bedroom, adding her men and women despite her saying she did not want others involved. He made threatening jokes, and the alleged victim feared for her safety if she failed to comply with his demands. The lawsuit says, noting she was also forced to witness him slap and abuse other women. Diddy boy, it's hard for you to come out of this looking like a monster, but he's still gonna have him lining up if he gets off free because that's just what it is. That's just the world we live in. The lawsuit also alleges Combs tracked her location and mentioned her conversation and monitored her conversations. He would refer to statements made by her when Combs was not present. Oh, wow. Yeah, so you was talking about Keisha and them yesterday, wasn't you? She turned like, what? How you know that? Uh-huh. Yeah, that's scary. Scary shit. He discouraged the alleged victim from working, the lawsuit states, and when she would try to be financially independent, Combs would pay her an allowance as a form of control. She complied with his behavior. The lawsuit claims out of fear and what would do if she said no, what he would do if she said no. Yeah, that's the control stuff. That's scary. That's disgusting. That's nasty. I mean, all that is honing in on somebody's weaknesses. Somebody is financially weak, I provide finances. Somebody is emotionally weak, I provide emotional support. Somebody is mentally weak, I provide what comes off as stern uh intelligence and navigation and guidance, right? It's just keying on somebody's weaknesses. And like you have to prey on a certain type of, we've seen even that and depicted in movies a lot too, right? Like if you want to play like everybody see Hard Target with Van Damme, right? You don't play that game with me. You don't recruit me to do that, right? Like one of the criteria that they were using to recruit those type of people is like, all right, do these people have any families? People that have missed them, people that are possibly investigate them being missing, people that create a lot of hysteria, noise behind them. Are they tapped in certain areas? Do they have money? Are they fine? All that type of stuff, right? No, it's not what they're going for. It's going for like the homeless people that had no known relatives and no known address and stuff like that, right? That's what they go for. And it's no different with the type of victims that I would assume somebody that would kind of build an image and a reputation for of Diddy will go towards as well. Weaker women. And that's why I'm with knowledge from rabbit hole knowledge earlier when it says, being targeted, being victimized, being taken advantage of, and all that type of stuff, being drugged, being all worded is not a crime. 100% not. Nobody take that the wrong way. 100% not. But it's a type of person that would fall into that. Like there's probably a lot of women in this chat that are gone the very first time they get drugged, if they even get drugged the first time. But there's women. Matter of fact, let me take a step back. There's women in this chat that would never be there in the first place because they wouldn't be comfortable with the situation. Then there's people in here that all it would take is that first time where I was drugged and my foot was all messed up and bitten and bruised and all that. All it says the first time. And the second time is like, damn, I gave you a chance because you convinced me when I woke up without any recollection that the dog or whatever, you convinced me of that. I gave you a second chance. A third chance. Now I'm waking up another time with water or whatever. Like there's a lot of people that's never going to get to that third strike in the first place. But the people that do are targeted because they have deficiencies or areas of weakness where you feel like you can control and manipulate. And I can convince you to fly your ass out here despite what happened last time. Or I can send you some money, or I can promise you some bread, or I can give you an allowance. You know what I'm saying? Some of that shit to a degree could be damn near hush money. And then there's these other sides to it too. Like how is that money even being paid? Like Diddy could be a manipulative, disgusting, planned out monster. Some of these could not necessarily be like favors. They could be brandished in a way of payment. Like, oh no, that freak off that you're filing a suit against me. Remember when I gave you that $5,000 before the cameras cut on? You were being paid to participate and you accepted the money. You don't remember that part? Like Diddy could pull that on people. Like that money don't just be favors and help. Sometimes it be hush money, or you never know. Even the tapes, when people are saying like these tapes were a form of control and power because you got dirt on some powerful people, no different. No different. Same shit. No. So this is the type of people that y'all playing with, allegedly. It's like people y'all hanging around, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing more respected to me. Well, there are things. I'm just making just one parallel. I have a lot of respect for a powerful person that doesn't abuse his power. Period. Period. I have a lot of respect for a powerful person that doesn't abuse their power. Okay? You use your power when it's really, really needed. Okay? And you could just talk about work. I mean, just work. The boss that says, "Yo, I got my eyes on you for a promotion." And the heavy chested secretary is just like, "Word, promotion? Yeah, it's gonna be like probably like our promotion to exec senior support level, whatever is a 30% increase." Bet. He passed by that same desk, 3 days later. "Hey, you need to come out to dinner with me." She's like, "Hey, I'm not even attracted to this nigga. He invited me to dinner at like 8 o'clock at night on a Saturday. We can't even disguise that as work. You didn't invite me out Tuesday during the lunch break. Nigga said Saturday at 8 o'clock. All right, I'll be there. You think about this damn promotion. You think about this 30% raise. Then you get there, he's rubbing your leg and shit. Next thing you know, he's pulling up to the hotel instead of dropping you off in front of your porch. And then shit gets said. Well, you know, you always been my favorite employee. So that's why we here. And I would love to see us continue to work together. So that's why we pulled up here. And now you're picking up the signs and you're just like, well, you're basically telling me, like, if I don't walk into this tel with you, I'm not getting my raise. I'm not getting my promotion. I'm losing my job security, and I'll fuck around and get fired. Where'd they do that too? They did that in I'm such a movie head, y'all. Y'all know me for this by now. If you haven't, Set It Off showed that. No, this Set It Off not show that with Jada Pickett. She had a big situation. Was it like college money for her son or something like that? Right? And dude always liked her. She was like, get out of here. But when that bag was there and she felt like she had no other choices, back to the wall. What did she do? Right? And they had her walking down the alley back home like this, disgusted with the little bit of money. This is the world we live in, man. Ladies, it's disgusting out there. Fellas too. Everybody, it's disgusting out there. And we talk like this to we've seen depictions of it. Like I just brought up, Set It Off. We see depictions of it. Some of y'all know people that this shit has happened to. Or some of y'all don't pick it up when you see it in art. Some of y'all don't have somebody that this has happened to, but you damn sure see these Diddy headlines, right? Learn. I love when the ladies is in here too, and I could S. Martini says, all the women in my life were bad examples. I'm sorry to hear that, S. Martini. If all the women in your life were bad examples, try not to fall into that cliche term of birds of a feather flock together, because people follow examples from their friends, from their surroundings, from their neighborhood, from their parents, from their peers, sometimes even from other authority figures, whether it could be a pastor, it could be your teachers, it could be whoever, right? The more and more you become an individual in life is the more and more that you can say, I don't care if my own mother and father told me to jump off the bridge. I ain't doing it, right? You flatten the playing field. You don't put somebody up here on the mountain because they're your mother, your father, your pastor, your boss, a celebrity, whatever. Certain people you have more respect for. Certain people have more of your trust. Your mother, your father. For example, mommy says, "Take your ass to school. This is going to be important." I don't think that it's important right now of having all this fucking homework, but I respect them. I'm going to listen to them, right? But when you level the playing field with your approach to making decisions, you don't end up necessarily in birds of a feather flock together just because I'm doing it to fit in my surroundings. You're doing it because this is what I want. All these 5 people around me is successful and hardworking, whatever, because not because I just said, oh, that's what's available to me. And no, or they influenced me to be like them, right? Diamond from Players Club was turned out. She was influenced to be like others. Remember that first lap dance she gave, man? Boy, see how uncomfortable she was? All right, there's a lot of influence that played a factor there. Versus somebody that grew up dancing and walked into that club and said, I don't give a fuck who it is. It could be that same guy that Diamond gave her first dance to. I'm on it because this is what I always wanted to be. I always wanted to be a stripper. It's a different mentality. That person is way stronger than Diamond. She was influenced to be there. Birds of a feather flock together could never apply to me. If I'm around them, it's because I chose to be. And we happen to have similar attributes because that's why I aspire to gravitate towards. None of that shit happens with me subconsciously, where I just end up somewhere around certain people. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Why am I in a room full of Diddies? No. You know what I'm saying? So despite the people and the examples in your past, once you strengthen your own process and what you want and the type of people you want to be around, Some of those people's gonna go away. New people gonna come into the picture, and it's gonna be something that you molded, and that's the win. Those movies are heads up or signs to pay attention to in real life experiences. You see, I pull on these examples very easily, these scenes, right? Whether it's Players Club or Sin City and whatnot. I keep telling y'all, art imitate, or The Wire. We did The Wire the other day with Carcetti and the mayoral run and talking about corruption. That's how my brain moves, because when I see this type of shit, I'm like, yeah, that's real. That really happens in the world. Like, yeah. I mean, we gotta pay attention. Like it's all in front of us. We just gotta put as much of the puzzle together as possible. All right. Great build today, people. Great build. I really appreciate this live. For me too. Thank you for everybody that rocked. And we'll be back ASAP, y'all. Sorry it's true. Got y'all.